This morning I caught a really expensive taxi and I went to Google's offices in Piedmont. And there I gave a 10-minute presentation to teachers and other technology coordinators about how our school is using Google Apps, which is like Google Drive and Google Sites and all that kind of thing. So in the spirit of things, I thought while I was there I would record a short video about some of my thoughts on technology. So enjoy. I work a lot with technology. I'm a bit of a nerd, so I guess that's been sort of part of my life for a long time. But I've had a lot of thoughts about it, and particularly about the way the younger generation is using technology, which I've had sort of circulating around my head for ages, and I've shared with people in conversation every now and then, but I want to tell a lot of people this. So three things I want to say about technology, particularly how it relates to schools, because that's kind of the context that I mainly think about it in. So firstly, technology is really good. It's really good for learning and for schools. And probably if you're watching this video, you're the kind of person who thinks that's like a no-brainer. But I think it's still worth saying because I continually encounter people, maybe because of the kind of job that I have, who are resistant and really skeptical about technology. And that's often for good reasons, like they've been doing things without technology for a long time and it's worked really well. But technology is really great. I mean, sometimes the people who tell me this, who are skeptical about it, they say, no, we should be back with chalkboards and pen and paper, and that's the way to learn, the traditional way. The irony of saying that is that chalkboards and pen and paper are themselves, quite modern technologies when it comes to education. So I want to put in a vote for technology and how it's used in learning. It's got really significant value. The second thing I want to say, though, is that that's not entirely true. The skeptics and the naysayers, they do have a point. And that is that even when you benefit from technology in lots of really cool ways, like how much information you've got access to or how you can work together with people even when you're not in the same place, when you gain things, you also lose things. So for instance, there's tons of research that talks about how when you type up something with your fingers, you can, on a keyboard, you can put in all the data and that's great. You can access it forever. So that's good for your memory, you would think. But research shows that actually writing with your hands, there's something about that tactile sensation that actually helps you to think and remember and process and engage with the kinds of things that the ideas that you're writing. So just think about that reading, off a screen versus reading in a book, they're not equivalent things, right? And as a generation, we're sort of going more and more towards just giving ourselves wholly over to technology. And I think I want to throw up a sort of red flag and be cautious about that. So I guess the third thing I want to say is, would you consider being really discerning and careful with how you use technology? Consider this. Have you thought about spending a week or a month with just zero technology, away from your smartphone, deactivate your Facebook or your Twitter or whatever? Think about that. Give that a go. If you think, that's ridiculous, how can I survive without my smartphone for a week? You're probably exactly the kind of person who needs to have a break from it. And maybe you might discover after a week or a month your ability to remain focused rather than distracted by your 50 million tabs or your instant notifications on your smartphone, or your ability to think about something for a long period of time and be undistracted about it. That might come back to you and you might appreciate it and not realize that you'd lost it before.